there are so many ways things could go wrong with your Microsoft 365 account, and sometimes there are issues not caused by you. Sometimes there are just things you overlook, and other times it could be something that was done by someone that is inexperienced but has access to doing things that only the admin should be able to do. So that's why Microsoft has a list of admin role, like the global admin and the rest of them. So be careful who you give those roles to, because at the end of the day, whatever happens there could cause some very serious damage. So we're going to see some things and try to troubleshoot from the admin side. So I'm going to be working with this user's account, Adel Vance. This is our email address. I'll just copy. Actually, I have a browser open in incognito mode. I'll just try to sign in. Alt and Tab takes you to the previous browser or the next browser. I'll copy that email address, paste here, next. So I always change the password for users. That's why I don't remember them all the time. That's because I always want to keep things safe. I show you the passwords every now and then, and that's not good practice. There's an error message here that says your account has been locked. Contact your support person to unlock it, then try again. Now, we have seen this before, and what we did was to check to see for a fact this user's account has been blocked. So click here to unblock and save changes. So there's a warning here that says it may take up to 5 minutes until this user can sign in again. But let's try and see. Password was here and save. Alright, so we are able to sign in. You can just choose to do this, but because I am in incognito or in private browser mode, that won't make any difference. Okay, so I am now able to sign in, and I have the apps here and everything else. So I'll just click here. I need to go into Outlook. But I don't have Outlook here. Let's come over here. So at a glance, I can also see that I do not have Outlook. So I'll just click here to see all apps, and I still do not have Outlook. Now, if you come back here, the user has the Microsoft 365 E5 developer license, and that license comes with Outlook. So if I just click over here, this user has Outlook here, and this is a global admin. So why would this user not have Outlook? Okay, if you want to go a step further, you could just go to outlook.office.com. So that's the link to opening up Outlook for a Microsoft 365 account. Okay, we have an error message, and I know errors are not very good, but the best thing to get is an error message as opposed to not having anything to work with at all. So when you see an error message, it's best to try to understand what the error message says, and then you'll be able to solve the issue. So let's try to interpret this error. The first here is just a date, the next one is just a client ID, the other one is a session ID, and then the client version. Okay, all of this is of very little concern to us right now because we got an error and we need to find what the error is here. So I can just click here to refresh, and I'll still get the same error. Refresh one more time, and I'm still getting the same error message. So here's the thing. Let's look closely and see. So here, backfilled errors. Anywhere you see error, try to see and understand what that place is. Unhandled rejection, error 500. So let's see what error 500 is. So error 500, the hypertext transfer protocol 500 internet server error response code indicates, this is the important thing here, indicates that the server encountered an unexpected condition that prevented it from fulfilling the request. Okay, so there was a request to a server. That's actually what happens whenever you're on the internet. You make requests to URL, and then the error message you got was as a result of the server not being able to handle this request. So let's see the next line. It says Microsoft. Okay, this is the exception itself. This is like the error message itself, the main thing, one of the things you should look out for. It says Microsoft.exchange. Exchange is the part of Microsoft 365 that handles emails. So you're going to hear a lot of Exchange and Outlook, OWA, and all of that. Those are some things, some terms you should be conversant with because you're going to be hearing them a lot. So client.OWA, OWA means Outlook web app, server core, OWA user has no mailbox and no license assigned exception. So this is an error message, and this is quite descriptive enough. It says the user has no mailbox and no license assigned. Now, don't be too hasty to always keep hitting the refresh button to see if that was a problem. The next thing to do is check again to see. This also says error 500, and there are a lot of things here that you may not be concerned about, but some basic things that should help you get started with troubleshooting. So here the EMSG is the error message, and it says user has no mailbox and no license assigned error. So this is a good thing, that at least you know what the problem is. Now you can go back to trying to resolve the issue. I'll come back here to the user. This is the user. Click licenses and apps, and this is the license. So why would I get this error message when the user clearly has a license assigned? Now remember, I said every license comes with some things like the applications. So we have 67 applications assigned. I'll just open this up, and if I go back to this point, that error message said something about the user not, let's go back there, the user not having mailbox and no license assigned error. Now let's see the apps. We clearly did not get Outlook here. Find calendar, we don't have one, and people, we don't also have people. Those are some applications that always come with your Exchange license. Exchange is the part of Microsoft that helps you handle emails. So I'll come back here to see. Let's find anything Exchange. So just without going too further, I can find Exchange Online Plan 2 here. I'll just check this box, and let's hit save on this. So we got that license. Well, let's see if there's anything else that is missing that the user may have issues with. I doubt there would be, but let's just see. We also have Microsoft Defender for Office 365, the plan 2. So we have the plan 1, so we are basically defended against threat. We have the plan 2. So if you want, you can check this box and check, okay, we have something else. My analytics, this is something that helps you check how you have used the Microsoft 365 product, and if you're not using it the right way, this will just give you some data-driven insight on how you can start using it the right way. So I checked the plan 2, but without even saving this, let's see if anything changes here. All right, so if this doesn't work, one thing you can do is to sign out and try to sign back in. But I'll just try this one more time. That didn't work. So I'll refresh. Let's refresh this page and see if we get Outlook. We now have Outlook here, and we can proceed with opening Outlook. So if I try to refresh this, it's still giving me that error message. So your browser may have saved some cache. Like I said, you can choose to sign out and sign back in. And okay, before we do that, let me refresh this page. All apps, and we have Outlook here. All right, so we have Outlook, and if you look, we have calendar apps here, and one more, people. We have people. So these are some apps that come with your Outlook. And yes, right now we can see for a fact that we now have the Microsoft Exchange license, which is the one that helps us to use Outlook. And Outlook on the web is for short called OWA, and Outlook desktop app is called Outlook Client. So we are still having that error message here, and what I recommend we do at this point is sign out. You can actually just close the browser, but I'll just sign out and sign back in. So I always change the password, so I might have an issue with signing in right now. I might have to go reset the password. Let's see if this works. Alright, so I'll click Outlook here. Oh, we're still having that error message. Let's close this browser, and we're going to open that up. That was incognito mode. I'll click on mail to see. So everything here looks fine. Now, if you look over here, that's another error message. Let me just open this up. So office.com. These are ways you troubleshoot. That's the essence of this video, just to show you some basic errors users may have and how you can go on with assisting them. This is the username, and this is the password. Let's have a look one more time. I'll just refresh this while I sign in. Alright, so it says we are preparing mailbox for the user. So usually it takes time to get your mailbox up and running. It takes less than 10 minutes. So we're going to just watch this for a while, keep refreshing to see if we get the mailbox. still says we are preparing a mailbox for the user, so it's still being prepared. This usually takes around 10 minutes or less. So I'll just come here to open Outlook and let's see if we get any error messages. Okay, so Outlook now opens, and this is a good thing. This still says we are preparing the mailbox. This takes time, but okay, it's back up now, and protocols are now being assigned and everything is fine now. All right, so this is our mailbox. This is where we had issues coming into initially, and like I said, there could be a whole lot of things wrong with a user's mailbox. It's not just limited to what I did. You could check for other things. When we get into the identity side, we are going to see other ways where a user could be blocked and how to unblock those users. All right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.